It's an amazing study. The Randy Moss, just like that, bam, gone. They kept talking about he's in a good place. He's fine. Didn't catch the ball. He's fine. Didn't get a new contract. He's fine. Even the media was saying, the guy is a lot more thoughtful and a lot more pensive, and he's not who you think he is. Even when he said, I want a new contract, he didn't make any demands. He wasn't yelling. He wasn't screaming. He just said, look, I want to be here. This is where I'm happy. I want to be here. It's a little frustrating, but he was very measured in what he said, even if the timing wasn't right. Well, obviously, it was a lot worse than all that, or they wouldn't have moved so quickly to get him out of there. It's also interesting to me, the real alpha dogs, the real go-to guys, that they can manipulate and dictate terms. Most guys, if they don't have a contract and they want a contract and they're not happy, who cares? Go out there and play. Ball up. But a guy like that, who's volatile, and an organization like that, which is never going to tolerate that sort of thing, you take those two things together, and he can force his way out. Everything being equal, you can't tell me that the Patriots think they're better without him than they are with him. Everything being equal, if everything's all right. That guy's still one of the best deep threats in the NFL. Arguably the greatest deep threat ever. You're going to take that off that team and tell me you're better? Like I said, it's not just him. It's the way he impacts everything else around him. Unless he's in a bad place and he's about to become that guy again. And they're not tolerating that. With the Patriots, it's all about team. There's not one guy bigger than the team, except for Tom Brady. But it's just interesting to me that a guy can force his way out. Certain guys can. Most guys can't. He did. It worked. Not only forced his way out, it's not like they sent him to the Raiders either. Not only did he get out, but he got to a situation I'm sure he thinks is better. Who would argue that you've got a better situation than playing with a Hall of Fame quarterback and a Hall of Fame coach where they need you? And he might have gone to a better situation. Look at the Vikings. You've got Brett Favre, who may not be Brett Favre, but he's Brett Favre. You've got arguably the best running back in the game. You've got a great offensive line. You've got a guy in the slot who's crazy fast. You've got a money tight end. You've got an excellent defense. You've been there before. You've had success there before. You're on the carpet. You know what? The situation probably is better for him there. He knows that division. Not only did he force his way out of a situation he didn't like, he's rewarded. He went to a better situation. Got to be kidding. If you can, why does anybody do anything? Because they can. I said go to the phone, so let's do it. 1-800-636-8686. We go to Ashland, Kentucky. James. Nice to have you, James. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for the vine, Rome. Hey, the first thing that comes to mind when I look at what just happened, being a huge New England fan of Randy Moss leaving, yes, I agree with you totally. New England is not a better team without him. But the thing of it is you look at, here is the third chapter of Randy Moss's career, and what's it going to do? Close exactly the same way. If Randy Moss was truly happy with where he was at, he wanted to close out in New England, it's real simple. It's a contract year. Ball up and go play. Don't go out here whining and crying around, knowing that's not the way that Coach Belichick wants. That's not the New England way. Show up and earn your keep. And so when I look at that, I say, you know what? Good riddance. If you're going to bring the circus in, you're going to tear away the chemistry of the team, then best wishes to you. He'll do great with Brett Favre up there. He'll probably catch 10 touchdowns while Brett Favre throws 20 interceptions. Good luck. The circus can move on around. Now the New England Patriots have to look at replacing him. And like you said, 2 first-round draft picks, move them over to San Diego and get Vincent Jackson's in there. But the New England Patriots will bounce back from this. The man under the hood knows what he's doing. Buy it low, sell it high. We're New England Patriots taking the AFC East championship again. We're New England Patriots going to the Super Bowl. And we're Cincinnati and Minnesota in the World Series. Thanks, Jim. I'm out.
That's it? Only 3 wars? All right, James, thanks. I think your point, what you're saying is you're in a contract year, ball up, show up, shut up, and they'll take care of you. That's not the way he sees it. Number one, he's going to tell you, I'm Randy Moss. I don't need to prove anything to anybody. Why do I need to show up and ball up and shut up? I'm Randy Moss. I've got to earn something right now. I've got to prove something to you. I'd like my contract now. What if I get hurt? Take care of me now. I'm a Hall of Famer. I don't need to do that for you. Number two, I think that he very clearly was not convinced, nor am I, that they would have taken care of him. It's not what they do. The Patriots get rid of everybody. Everybody. It doesn't matter what you've meant to that team. It doesn't matter what you've done for that team. They're going to get rid of you a little too early rather than hold on to you a little too long. And they have played this guy perfectly. They will take care of you as long as you take care of them. But the second you're no longer worth what you used to be, you're gone. They're about the organization. Rebuilding, reloading. He knew that. He didn't like that. And the writing was on the wall, and I think it hurt him. It hurt him. It hurt his pride. It hurt him financially. He didn't like it. And he wasn't going to accept it, and he forced his way out. Just don't tell me that it's addition by subtraction. What that is a necessity. They had to. They're not better without him than they are with him. But they're better without him if he's going to go into bad guy mode and shut down. Then you can't have that around. 1-800-636-8686. This guy's got a different take. Check this. Rome. Seeing as to how I stutter when I get nervous, I imagine that I would get run and be a sound drop for years to come on your show. So here's my phone call, take by email. That's not true. That's not my deal. I'm not going to say that other clones wouldn't feel that way. I have never, ever, nor would I ever end a phone call because somebody stutters. If you're irresponsible, if you're reckless, if you're sophomoric, if you're bringing me down, that's one thing. Just keep that in mind. That said, let me read your phone call. Hey, Rome, thanks for the Vine. First time, long time. The Vikings were not going to win the Super Bowl this year. Before the trade, they weren't going to make the playoffs. With the trade, they probably will now. They have 17 free agents coming up next year. They have no quarterback. Even if Favre returns, this year has shown his age and lack of mobility. Imagine how much worse it'll be after another season of beatings. They gave up a third-round pick that they could have used in place of a free agent. Chewy's job did not get saved with his trade. It guaranteed his firing. When he does not win the Super Bowl with Favre, Peterson, Allen, Rice, and now Moss, he'll be deemed an even bigger failure. Vikings will get a quick burst out of this, but they'll lose to the Jets, and they'll fall to 1-3. James from the D. Or they come together, they beat the Jets, and it saves their season. We'll see. Great game Monday night. Hey, James. Rack him. Well, he's an email. I can't really rack him. It's a rack call via email. You just wonder, don't you? The very best of the best show up in the moment. They rise to the occasion. But can you take a 40-year-old Brett Favre who hasn't been able to pull the trigger, put him on the same field with Randy Moss, who he hasn't played with, and then put them out there on Monday night against the Jets? And right now, I think the Jets are a team to beat. I think the Jets are getting guys back. They're getting Santonio Holmes back. They're getting Darrelle Revis back. They're getting Calvin Pace back. The Jets look good. Mark Sanchez looks great. They're running the ball with authority. They're D'ing up. Do you expect the Vikings to come together in 1 week's time? And they still don't have all their parts. Well, if they do, that'd be the man's game. And we've seen some of that Favre magic on Monday night. Just not a 40-year-old Favre who missed camp. I'm watching. Well, I'll watch the worst Monday night game. But I want to see this. That's kind of not true either. I want to see the worst Monday night game. You know what I'm getting at. Except for last Monday. I didn't want to see that. Nobody wanted to see that. That was bad for the NFL. That was bad for America, that game.